All right, so we're gonna have a table topic right now, and the table leader is gonna be the person who came the furthest. So whoever drove the furthest or flew in the furthest is gonna be your table leader. And I want you guys to talk about how reviews have influenced you when making buying decisions, or maybe how reviews have influenced your significant other in making buying decisions, and really break it down to how does it help you make better decisions, and what impact does it have on you as far as a customer when you're making those kinds of decisions. So again, we're going to take a few minutes, do a little table topic. This is your opportunity to get to know your neighbor. Actually, you probably already do, but let's talk about this whole review thing and talk about how it influences your buying behavior. All right, so figure out who your table leader is, and then let's spend a few minutes talking about how it influences your buying decision. All right, let's wrap it up here. Whoever your table leader is, if you guys can pick a couple things that you picked up. One of the best things about being at these kinds of events is you guys can share with one another some of your thoughts. So 30 seconds, we're going to have your table leader actually share with us you gained from this little table topic conversation. All right, does anybody, how about, I'm going to do it, Steve. If you can hear me, clap once. If you can hear me, clap twice. All right, that works, Steve. Thank you. All right, so who has a burning desire to share with each other? Table leader. Anybody want to? Do I just get to pick you out? All right, perfect.
I'll be the guinea pig. Now we as a table, we agreed that especially when you're buying from an e-commerce site, something where you don't necessarily know people, having those reviews definitely helps ensure that if you buy something, you're not just going to get ripped off. They're actually going to send you it. If there's a problem, that they would actually address it. But also, a valid concern that we have is that there's just so many review sites, and we're worrying that because everybody's reviewing everybody, and a lot of the reviews aren't real strong, positive or negative, if that's kind of deflating the value of the reviews online. Just wanted to hear your feedback on that.
Absolutely, thanks for that. So yeah, no question, gaming the system is very popular. In fact, some of our biggest competitors, that's what they do. And when Google finds out about it, you're in big trouble. Literally, I know dozens and dozens of companies that use this is probably on. Is this thing on? Okay. They go through India and they'll get reviews done for 50 cents or $1 or a penny a review. and have those reviews driven into Google reviews or Yahoo reviews, etc. What ends up happening is that IP address becomes exposed, and Google's able to find out about the gamification, the gaming side of that piece, and next thing you know, their website is completely de-indexed. I've seen it happen lots and lots of times. There's companies out there that will call you, they'll tell you they'll take your comment cards, and they'll turn them into actual reviews. What Google has done, in fact, I'll tell you a quick story. A dentist decided to use negative reviews to help optimize, as an optometrist, to optimize his optometry business. He went out of his way to deliver the worst service you could imagine and create all kinds of negative buzz about his business. Ended up gaming the system to the point where Google ranked him #1 in New York because he was so relevant in regards to optometry. And this is before the whole review thing was that very big. But Google found out about this because it was in the New York Times, because the guy went and bragged on the New York Times telling the story how I just worked Google. You know, that's something to brag about. Well, once Google figured that out, the whole system is totally changed. And it's changed for the better, although it's a little bit frustrating for a lot of users. Google now requires you to use your real name, #1, and #2 requires you to have a Google Plus account. Google Plus is equivalent to a Facebook. So reviews only are as good as the person writing them, right? If they're not real, then they're likely to be not very valuable. Facebook, you can leave. Who knows about Facebook recommendations? A few of us. So the ones that don't know about Review Buzz recommendations, that's the most powerful way to spread your word that you're a great company. Your customers can write a recommendation on Facebook about their experience with you as a company, and guess what happens? Nearly all their 150 friends get to see that recommendation about your business and your Facebook page. So there's a good example of real people that can't really fake that whole profile. So hopefully that answers your question. Maybe we can one more. Anyone has a burning question, a burning desire to share what they may have discussed at your table? Thank you.
Sure thing. What I found was the mystery drop-off call. I run a plumbing, heating, cooling company, and occasionally you'd get a great customer, a great town. They're willing to pay the service call fee. They have demand service. They're flooding, no heat, no cool, leaking water heater, something like that. No price questions. You did everything right in the office, next available technician. And then you call back sheepishly and they say, well, I still want to go forward with it. And you say, well, we already have a tech en route. No, back them off, and they just don't say anything. So this came up in, I'm a next door guy, and we were at a regional dinner, and it came up as a topic. And someone pulled me aside and said, Dave, what's your online reputation? And I started scratching my head. You mean the review thing? And I said, it's just in the middle there somewhere. You know, some guys, they make their own reviews, and they're, where they're going to end up by doing that, and they're all 5 stars. And as a matter of fact, some guys are so nice when they write their own 5 stars, they'll write a bad review for you. So the review thing was really not going well for me. So I had a big problem, and there's a certain percentage of customers that if you're not attending to this online reputation, you don't even know it. It's subtle. But it was at least once or twice a month. So it adds up to real money. And I'm using Mike's system now for about a month. And I got to tell you, I'm a big fan of it. I just cut a little spot for him earlier, and I'll just get into it. It was the easiest thing. I'm a lazy business owner. I like to golf and fish. And it was the easiest thing to plug in, because once you see it, you say, all right, I got to have it. It looks so professional. My customers are going to love it. They're going to think I'm marvelous to have this thing, because it's 4 little screens and it talks you through it. My guys love it. They all love seeing their photographs in it. And if you haven't taken the time to click on this program, it's unbelievable. So, and it's cheap compared to what you're losing on the other side. And it's automated. And when I say it's plug and play, and I'd rather be doing other things, my office manager handled the whole thing. And I think it was a week or 10 days, and we were all up and running. And we only started a month ago, and we got about a dozen positive reviews, and we're pushing down the negative, and we're going up. And it's all legitimate, good stuff. And my guys are excited about it because there's a reward program. And I can't say enough about it. I wish all my business experiences were this easy and this good. Usually it's a struggle. Usually you have to tweak it and change it. And this is just plug and play.
Well,
so
I
thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so Wow. I know. I got to do something special for him. Holy smokes. I didn't ask for that one, but thank you so much for giving that. I mean, that's awesome. I mean, thank you so very much. What's that? I could have went. You know, I got to be careful once in a while, but no, you're a great guy, and I know you're doing good things. And you know what I love about the program is it only will help people that have good people. I mean, if you don't have a good business and you don't have a good operational system, this won't help you. It's like a gym membership. You ain't going to get in shape by signing a contract. You got to show up. You got to do the work. And you obviously have good people, and they're doing good things, and that's why this is working for you. And that's truly what I love about our program is it helps rise the importance of customer service, and it puts good people that don't normally get recognized. You know, let's face it, in our business, a lot of times all we're focused on are the sales. And that's what really matters to a lot of us, and it has to matter because that's what pays the bills. But at the same time, with the transparency of the internet and the opportunity, more importantly, this is going to go really big. And if you think about it, and I don't want to get off track here too much, but if you think about Google, they're in the trust business. They have a lot of competition, whether you guys realize it or not. And the reality of it is that they're not serving up the best search results, the best rating companies first. They're providing an inferior product, an inferior service. So without a question in my mind, if you guys get ahead of the curve and you guys start delivering great customer experiences over and over and over again, and Google's got the ear, they're listening to everything. They're watching what's happening on Facebook. They're watching what's happening on Yahoo, on Bing, on all these different social media sites, and listening to see if your customers are talking good or bad about you. And that will have relevancy towards your ranking. So whether we like it or not, we all have potential ratings on our shops, whether it's a D or a B or a C. But as you guys can imagine, if you guys can see it from the back, this is some place you may not want to consider trying out. And why? Because they obviously have a bad rating. So if your customers are seeing this, and maybe not even aware of it, this can really do some serious damage. I know for a fact, I've talked to contractors over and over and over again, and they've lost $10,000 jobs, $15,000 jobs because of a really bad thing that was said on a ripoff report or a bad rating they had on a certain review site. It's very, very expensive if you don't protect your reputation. And it can cause people that would normally go to your business to go around it and go to your competitor. So this whole customer experience process is not written by me. This is actually Google themselves. This is called the ZMOD process. And it stands for the zero moment of truth. When your customers go through this process, they're basically they have an intent, right? They may have got your flyer, or maybe they have a service matter issue. The next thing that happens today is the consideration phase. Are they going to use you, or are they not going to use you? Once they get to purchase, congratulations, you did it. You got the job. Now, this is the point where I want to really emphasize that really, truly matters. Because if you don't create a happy customer experience, they're not going to endorse you. If they don't endorse you, you're not going to get the recommendations. Now, this piece over here is Connect and Engage is great. But frankly, this is not as much of a focal point as I want you guys to pay attention to. I want you guys to understand that this will feed this over here. Because when it comes to them to think about it, this is going to have an impact. In fact, according to Google, you can get the book for free. It's ZMOD. You can download it. It's absolutely free. According to Google, your average customer goes to look at 11 pieces of information before making a buying decision. That means they're looking on other things outside of your website. So if they don't have 11 pieces of good information, what's going to happen? They're not going to buy from you, right? They're going to buy from who potentially?
Somebody else does.
Somebody else. I'm going to give you. I got a couple of free books I'm going to give you. You guys will wait today, but thanks for engaging with me. So that's exactly right. They're going to buy from our competitor. We don't want that. So let me walk you guys down a real simple path. This is our customer, Wanda, let's call her. Wanda was recommended by a friend to call your company. She actually saw your truck in the neighborhood. She even got a mailer that came through the mail. Now, according to this stat, 8 out of 10 times your customer, because of a negative review, will change their opinion even after someone recommended them to you. So someone can literally recommend you. They can see your truck. They can get a flyer in the mail. But if they see bad reviews, all that money went down the toilet.